all Canada and hockey fans in the United States. Still here at the Detroit Olympia. And the Leafs are coming out of the ice for the first period of this fourth game of the Stanley Cup Finals. The Red Wings will be out momentarily. Maple Leafs wearing white, defending the goal to my left. And Detroit coming out now, led by Terry Sawchuk. To my right. Fourth game of the Stanley Cup Finals. Leafs are leading in the series 2-1, winning both games at home. And Detroit winning their first game at home. They're announcing the lineup to start the game. The referee tonight, number 4, Vern Buffy. Alman Sajiak and Floyd Smith will start for Detroit. Keon Duff and Armstrong for the Maple Leafs. Stanley and Horton on the defense. Gadsby and Michael Pronovo for Detroit. And now we'll have the national anthem. To start the first period here at the Detroit Olympia. And the fans are still coming in. Cloudy, not too cool in the Detroit today. Vern Buffy is the referee, and he calls the players to center ice. Goes right back to Alan Stanley, over here to Tim Horton. Pass off the boards, goes to the Detroit blue line where it's shot out. George Armstrong coming up with it. A foot pass for Dick Duff. Too well covered. It bounces, though. He goes after it. Ran into Floyd Smith. Puck is in the corner. Vic Stasiak shoots it out over the line, and Stanley moves up. He takes a long shot into the Detroit zone. Sawchuk stopping it. Michael Pronovo watched by Keon. Duff checked him, trying to center it in front of the net. Normie Ullman goes to the corner. He's checked. Stanley moves up, jams into his man. Keon wraps it right back into the corner. Bill Gadsby trying to get away from George Armstrong. A pass for Stasiak goes down the ice. It's going over the red line. Horton will touch it. Icing will be the call. Face off in the Detroit zone to the right. Doug Zachry's coming out now on the defense with Michael Pronovo. That's number 5, replacing Bill Gadsby. No other changes on the ice at the moment. Keon, Duff, and Armstrong, Horton, Stanley. For the Maple Leafs in white. On the face-off, the puck is in the corner. Normie Ullman behind the net, battled on the boards for Vic Stasiak. Horton stops it. Gets it right back in again. Duff races after it, takes his shot right on. Sawchuk stopped that. It goes into Stasiak in the corner. Tries to get it out. He does. Duff stops him, and Horton turns. Keon couldn't tap it, and the puck goes back to the Leaf blue line and into the Leaf zone where Duff has it. He shoots it down the ice. Marcel Tornabo back for it. Got it around on the boards to Floyd Smith to Ernie Ullman. Floyd Smith was took by Stanley and knocked down. Doug Barkley clears it in, goes after it. Bauer came out of his net, cleared it off the boards, but not out. Then Armstrong got it out. Floyd Smith then to Vic Stasiak. His long shot was shot by Bauer off the target. George Armstrong. To Duff. Duff with Keon. Shoots it over the line. Sawchuk stopping it off the target. Doug Barkley to Vic Stasiak. Up with Gordie Howe. To Ullman on the left wing. Too well covered by Bond. Gordie Howe. Pass over to Doug Barkley and a shot of Bauer. Knocks it out to the side. A turning pass to the blue line. Doug Barkley's shot again was stopped by Bauer. Bob Bond gets a wrist shot to center is deflected. Ullman having difficulty. Ran into Mahamlet. Howe on the right wing. Shoots it into the Leaf zone. Bond carrying it for Stewart. Stewart and he passes right in front of his own net. Alex Vecchio is checked and away goes Mahamlet. Mahamlet's up at center. Out to the Detroit line. Shot it in. Sawchuk caught it. Steered it into the corner. Kelly keeps it in with a shot to the opposite wing. And Parker McDonald clears it out to Alex Vecchio. To Gordie Howe. There's a shot. He scores! Gordie Howe. On a long shot. Alex Vecchio, Parker McDonald, and Gordie Howe. Fulford with Jack and Nevin. And now coming out is Alex Faulkner with Andre Tornabo and Bruce McGregor. On the face-off, Nevin gives it back to Stanley. Stanley up for it. Fulford to Shack into the corner. Shack races after it. Sawchuk came out of the net. Jack bumped into him. Fulford ran into Alex Faulkner, and Bruce McGregor has it. His pass for Faulkner hit the back of his skate, gets it over for McGregor. McGregor was hit by Stanley and knocked out. Fulford. A long pass for Nevin, hit his stick. Andre Tornabo handed it right to Horton. Horton's pass out by Alex Faulkner. He was hit by Nevin, and Nevin went down. Now then Fulford runs into Faulkner as Nevin gets a break on the right wing. Pete Goygan, number 18, into the corner. A long pass on the right wing for Bruce McGregor, hit the back of his skate. Nevin runs into McGregor. Faulkner's hit again by Fulford. Bill Gadsby to Andre Tornabo. His pass at center goes right to Shack. Stopping it over the line. Pete Goygan, number 18, behind the Detroit net. Play is called, and there will be a face-off in the Detroit zone because Goygan was holding it behind the net, delaying play. Now the face-off is in the Detroit zone to the right. Fulford with Shack and Nevin. Horton and Sammy on the defense, and now it's Dr. McDonald, Alex Vecchio, and Gordie Howe. Doug Barkley and Marcel Tornabo. 1-0 Detroit. At the 4:12 mark, there's a shot, that one high and wide of the Detroit net. A turning pass out of center. Jack shoots it into the Detroit zone and goes behind the Detroit net, and Terry Sawchuk leaves it there for Doug Barkley, number 5. A long pass over here for Parker McDonald, keep fire. Shines down the ice, and Horton's back for it. Pass to Fulford. Fulford stopped by Marcel Tornabo. He's up over the Leaf line, and his pass to Shack. It's set up to Nevin. Nevin going over the line. Tries to get around Doug Barkley. Pass it right in front, and Fulford comes up with it. Took his shot, side check, steering it right back into the corner. Hiker McDonald is hit. Horton to Nevin. Nevin shot it around behind the net. Hooper after it. Doug Barkley beat him to it. Side check, steered it into the corner by shooting it there. Horton stopped by Hiker McDonald, and Hiker McDonald long pass to Del Vecchio. Back to Hiker McDonald. Here's the shot, he hit the post. Hiker McDonald hit the post. Shot goes to the corner. Bauer to Horton. He's checked. Del Vecchio lets one go, and Hooper comes up with it. He just kicks it out to center ice. He's changing on the go. A pass for Alex Del Vecchio is offside. This game is coming to you direct from the Detroit Olympia. We have played 5 minutes and 35 seconds of the first period. 1-0 Detroit. Hutch hit a skate on the Elman skate and went into the lead bench, so there's no further play, and a face-off outside the blue line. Elman was Stasiuk and Floyd Smith. And Keon, Dick Duff, and George Armstrong. On the face-off, Dick Duff. Turning in his own blue line. Up the center. Flipped one that hit Gorgon. Duff shoots it into the Detroit zone. Shot back out of the net. Shoots into the corner. Floyd Smith. Pass it. Duff took his shot, and that was stopped by Satchuk. Keon. Off the boards to Brewer. Brewer let his shot go. Played into the corner. Keon after it. He skates on the boards, but Keon comes up with it, and he's checked by Floyd Smith. Ullman to Stasiuk. Up to center ice. Up over the leaf line. A drop pass for Ullman. Takes his shot, and that was stopped. Bob Bond to Dave Keon. Tips it out at center ice. Pete Gorgon over to Bill Gadsby. Gadsby handed it to Keon. Over the line with Bond. Back to Bond. He shoots the shot, takes shot, and Armstrong let it go. And that was stopped by Satchuk. Keon falls. Puck goes out to center. Now Brewer. Shooting it over the line. Satchuk stopping that. Stasiuk shoots it around the boards. It comes back to Bob Bond. His shot was deflected to Keon. Keon back to Bond, another shot. Armstrong took a whack at it, and Satchuk came up with it. And we have a face-off in the Detroit zone to the right. 1-0. Howell from Del Vecchio and McDonald at 2:54 is in the scoring play in the game so far. Howell, Del Vecchio, Larry Jeffrey, number 14, along with Doug Barkley and Marcel Tonebo. On the face-off, Stewart was checked. Gordie Howe after it. Passed it out to center ice where Horton stops it. Horton takes a long shot into the corner, bounces in flat, and Satchuk gives it to Marcel Tonebo. He fell. Havlick passed it back to the blue line, and Larry Jeffrey was after it, and Horton beat him to it. Del Vecchio gets it over the line and ends up behind the lead goal. Gordie Howe after it. He's dumped, and Stewart goes away on the right wing with Mahavlich. Pass from Mahavlich over the line, and play is called outside at the blue line. We have played 7 minutes and 33 seconds of the first period. 1-0 Detroit. Del Vecchio, Jeffrey, Gordie Howe, Kelly with Stewart and Mahavlich. Horton shot it into the Detroit zone. Behind the net, it goes into the corner. Likely is hit by Kelly, pass it out in front of the net. Here's Horton's shot. That was wide. It came right in front of the net, and then wrapped it back into the corner. Del Vecchio back for it. Gets away from Mahavlich. Plays it out. Stewart stops it. Marcel Tonebo comes to center. Pass it over the line for Howe. Howe trying to go on goal. He gets his shot, and it's wide. Going to be a penalty here to the late to Mahavlich. that you'll get a hooking penalty. That'll give Detroit the odd man advantage. They lead in the game 1-0. A hooking penalty at 8:08. Now we'll see who Detroit comes out. Tony Howe staying up there. Floyd Smith, 6-J-Jack, Naomi Ullman, Val Fontaine. Face-off, Fulford, Nevin, Horton, and Stanley. On the face-off, back to Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe getting set, takes his shot, and Bauer caught that one and held on to it. Face-off again in the Maple Leaf zone. Stanley, Fulford, Nevin, and Horton trying to kill off this penalty to Mahavlich. Stanley whacked it, and it's going into the crowd. Face-off will be in the same spot. Quick over the left is Johnny Bauer. Quick play, every man up. From the draw, Horton goes back for it, and he looks a high one, but it's going down the ice. Now Fontaine goes back for it, number 19. To Gordie Howe. Back to Fontaine, a foot pass for Stasiak, too far. Horton back in front of his own net, flipped it to the blue line. Gordie Howe kept it in. Howe passing it over to Ullman. His shot hit escape. Gordie Howe. Watched by Nevin. Howe centered it out in front. It comes back to Val Fontaine. The shot. It's right in front of the net. Goes to Horton. Horton cleared it, but not out. Tommy Ullman takes his shot, and Bauer's got that. Gordie Howe sits down beside him. And the face-off will be in the Maple Leaf zone to the left. This game is coming here direct from the Detroit Olympia.
Well, it's not very often that you could say that John Bauer let in maybe a questionable goal, certainly not a bad one, but when Gordie Howe scores to make it 1-0 here, John, did the puck dip? What was it? Hit your glove and kind of bounced in?
Yeah, I don't think I was set for it, really. I was told by Punch, really, to catch every shot I possibly could, not give too many rebounds, and I wasn't really ready for the shot, but I did move, and I hit the bottom of my glove and trickled in, and that's the last goal Howe was going to get on me, as I said myself.
Now, I know you two were close friends, both growing up in Saskatchewan and playing junior hockey against one another. You used to go fishing. Now, did he say that if I get into the final, you got to let me score one?
No. When he's on the ice, we're not friends at all. Off the ice, we're friends and all that, like, you know, but... Sure, Gordie has I met Gordie in Prince Albert National Park. I was a so-called assistant pro there at that time, and then I had a coffee shop, and he used to come down and see me, and I played against him in Saskatoon, too, by the way, when he played his junior hockey in Prince Albert, and I got to know him pretty well, and we've become good friends, and we're still good friends, but I don't see him as much now because he's in Detroit a lot.
John, Punch Imlach was quoted as saying that he thought if you gave up another one, he was going to take you out of the game. What was your relationship with Punch? A lot of players are very critical of his style and the way he was, but this was really kind of the way almost all coaches were then.
Well, I admired Punch as a general manager and a coach, too. I mean, he demanded, he wanted you to work real hard in practice, which I did, and he told me many times, he said, as long as I'm a coach here and you do what you're told to do, and you work hard, he said, you'll be here for a long time. And he kept his word, and I worked hard because, you know yourself, I didn't like pucks being scored on me in practice, because that meant a lot to me. That was my job, to keep him out. And so, he's demanding. I mean, you know, you do what you're told to do. And he was very, very strict in his own ways. And some of the younger players maybe didn't like it. Some thought maybe that we left a lot of our practices, our games in the practice. And I don't believe in that, and mostly all us older guys had to work harder. There's no doubt about that, and But I got along good with Punch. I had no problems at all with him at all.
Well, he made a great move here because he leads you in the game. And you're trailing 1-0 with the Leafs in Detroit. This is Game 4. We're going back upstairs to Bill Hewitt.
We have played 9 minutes and 6 seconds of the first period. 1-0 Detroit. Bill Gadsby let a shot go to hit Keon. Keon breaks away on the left wing with Armstrong over the line. Keon trying to get in, and he is too well covered. There's going to be a penalty here. Play is called, and a penalty handed out to Detroit. Bill Gadsby going to the penalty box. Number 4, Pete Goygan thought he may have had a penalty. And it was Bill Gadsby. Gadsby in the penalty box. The teams are even at 5-a-side. Mahavlich still in there. Gary Odrowski's out there for the first time. Number 22. Playing with Marcel Toneville. Valfontaine back to Marcel Toneville. One of those starts up towards his own blue line. Up the center ice. A pass to Odrowski over the line. Odrowski passed it back, and Keon goes down the ice with Armstrong. Brewer clearing. Keon took his shot wide. Armstrong gets the rebound. Too well covered, and Doug Barkley, number 5, clears it to the blue line. Odrowski's watched by Brewer. Armstrong back at center. Passing it to Kent Douglas, number 19. To Brewer. Over the line for Armstrong. Armstrong's shot is wide. Keon tried to send it in front. He did, and Marcel Toneville was there to cover up. To Odrowski too far. Brewer going back for it. 9:17, the time of the holding penalty to Gadsby. Here's Odrowski getting a shot. Brewer nearly gave it away right in front of his own net. Valfontaine, number 19. Passing it back to Doug Barkley, who shot it out to Odrowski. To Valfontaine. The Leafs have the man advantage. Odrowski over the line outside. Detroit 1. Toronto Maple Leafs no score. At the 10:31 mark of the first period. Eddie Howe scored the only goal of the game so far from Alex Del Vecchio and Patrick McDonald at 2:54. Comes back to Doug Barkley, a long shot into the corner. Douglas to Kelly. Mahavlich back to Kelly. Back to Mahavlich. Mahavlich up at center. Over the Detroit line. Shot it to the open wing. Valfontaine goes after it. Mahavlich steps in ahead of him, but Fontaine fights for it. It's clear to the blue line. Douglas a pass in front, and Doug Barkley has it. And just clears it out to center ice. A pass for Mahavlich for Stewart. Failed to click. Bruce McGregor shooting it over the line. Kelly. Bringing it up from south. Up to center. Got it over the line. Valfontaine cleared it, but not out. Mahavlich handed it to Bruce McGregor, to Bill Gadsby. Back to Bruce McGregor. Over the line. Stopped by Douglas. Douglas' pass, stopped by Doug Barkley. He's over the line. Here's his shot. Howard stopped that. Kelly is checked by Howe. Howe centers it right in front. McGregor's shot is stopped by Bauer. The puck is still in the lead zone as Alex Del Vecchio trying to center it. Back to Marcel Toneville right in front for Gordie Howe. And he's stopped by Bauer. Kelly can't get it out. Stewart gets a break. Up with Mahavlich. He's over the line. He shoots it. And Sawchuk stopped it. And Stewart missed the rebound. Gordie Howe to Del Vecchio. Here he goes at center. Turns back towards his own blue line. Now he starts back up again with a pass to Packer McDonald. Takes a long shot into the lead zone, and Stanley's back for it. Stanley to Shack. Off the board. Shack went after it, but Bill Gadsby beat him to it, and the puck was deflected into the crowd. They played 12 minutes, 25 seconds of the first period. 1-0, Detroit. Fulford with Shack and Nevin facing Alex Faulkner, number 12, Andre Pronovo, number 15, Roy Smith, number 17. Fulford takes a long shot wide. Faulkner is checked. Nevin couldn't get his drive. Shack comes up with it. A pass right in front, and Gadsby covered Fulford. And Pete Goygan shoots it off the board to Andre Pronovo, who cleared it out and down the ice. Alan Stanley back for it. Long pass is knocked back into the lead zone. Delayed whistle as Horton catches it. And since he was going back, they call it immediately. One nothing to score. Favor of Detroit. Bruce McGregor back out on the right wing now with Alex Faulkner, who fell. Horton moves up to center. He takes a long shot that was high. Bruce McGregor flicks it to the blue line and clears it out. Stanley back to Horton. Horton off the boards for Nevin. Nevin ran into Goygan. Goes into the corner. Fulford runs into Andre Pronovo and straight to the other wing. Bruce McGregor lost it. Stanley took his shot. It's right in front of the net. Andre Pronovo just clears it out and down the ice. Now he gives it to Horton. Horton. Shooting it off the boards to Fulford. Fulford is center. Takes a long shot that's wide. That shot puts it behind the net. Goygan. A flip pass for Andre Pronovo. He's bumped. Then Keon. Over the line to Shack. Shack tried to center it. Nevin poked at it. Horton moves up on the... takes his shot. It's right in front of the defense. Puck through. Shack goes after and he's too well covered. That's up for Alex Faulkner. Long shot. Bauer knocked it into the corner. Faulkner goes after it. Tried to center it. And Stanley too far for Nevin. Up over the line for Marcel Pronovo. He ran into Stanley. Up the ice for Armstrong. Gets it over the Detroit line. Got it into the corner behind the net, into the far corner. Duff moves up, took his shot, and Sawchuk stopped it. Marcel Pronovo for Vic Stasiak, number 11. There he goes, a long pass at center by Brewer. Brewer touches it before it crosses the red line. And he's behind the goal with it. Now he's starting out. Pass to Dave Keon, number 14, up at center. Tried to go through, and he tried to drag the puck. Duff moves in, and he found another shot. Here goes Detroit. Hellman, Dwight Smith, and Vic Stasiak. The three of them are over the line. Stasiak takes his shot. Lauer caught it, but it was outside. Face-off will be outside the blue line. Kelly comes out with Mahavlich and Stewart. Brown and Brewer. Hellman, Howe, and Stasiak. Now then Packer McDonald is coming over the boards, and so is Alex Vecchio. 1-0 Detroit. 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this first period. Bouncing shot and Bauer had to come out of his net to stop. Now Brewer to Bob Brown too far. Brewer behind the loose goal. Pass to Bob Brown. Up for Kelly, stopped by Gordie Howe. Howe a pass, stopped by Brewer. Brewer to Stewart off his skate. Pete Goygan Cleared it out till he brought it in offside. Four minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first period. 1-0 Detroit. On the face-off, Del Vecchio back to Pete Goigan, who goes into the corner for it. Number 18. Got it, and it's deflected by Gordie Howe down the ice. He's going over the red line. Touched by Brewer. It'll be icing. So we have a face-off in the Detroit zone. Okay with Del Vecchio. Michael McDonald. Bill Gadsby. Pete Goigan. Alan Brewer playing on the defensive relief and up inside the blue line. Shot. That's had to stop that. Kelly kicks it into the corner. He's too well covered by Del Vecchio. Patrick McDonald to Gordie Howe. Here's Bill Gadsby swinging up the center. Knocked down by Brewer. Brewer. Pass to Mahavlich. He's over the line. Back to Stewart. Stewart took his shot and hit Mahavlich on the street. Back to McDonald. With Gordie Howe to center. Del Vecchio trailing. Back to Howe and he missed it. Kelly to Mahavlich. Over with Kelly. They're going in, three of them. A pass in front for Stewart. He missed it. Back to McDonald, Del Vecchio and Howe. A pass for Gordie Howe over the line. Tried to go around Brewer and he was too well covered and knocked down. Brewer up the center. Too well covered by Del Vecchio and Patrick McDonald. Now Del Vecchio checked by Bond. Patrick McDonald wrapped it over the line. Brewer has it. Long pass for Pooper. Up over the Detroit line. Pooper took his shot. Sarchuk stopped that. Puck isn't in against the board. Floyd Smith holds it there for a face-off, and this game is coming to you direct from the Detroit Olympia. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first period. 1-0 Detroit. Stasiak a pass at center, shot by Stanley. Hooper takes a long backhand that Sarchuk caught on his arm. Nice ball, Pronovo number 3. A pass shot by Shack. Shack pass to Nevin. Nevin trying to center it. It goes against the boards. Normie Elman with it. Clears it to the blue line and out. Nevin was knocked down by Doug Barkley, and they have to wait for him to get onside. And he just gets out there and shoots it right back into the Detroit zone. It's Stasiak number 11. Coming up to center ice. Gets over the line. Pass it to Jack. Jack behind the lead goal, a foot pass hit Nevin, bouncing between Marcel Pronovo and Doug Barkley, but he gets it over to him. It hits Stasiak and Nevin gets a chance. Away goes Nevin to center, over the line. Took his shot and it was wide. Sarchuk stopping it. Two lead players go after it. Hoping back to Horton, there's the shot and that's wide. Turning pass up for Stasiak, stopped by Shack. Marcel Pronovo to Floyd Smith. Three of them over the line. Ullman takes the pass. Gets away from Stanley, trying to center it. He was chased out to the side. Vic Stasiak comes up with it, hands it to Pooper. Pooper goes down the ice with Shack. Over the line to Shack. Back to Nevin and it's outside. Face off for the outside the Detroit blue line. 1-0 Detroit. 1 minute and 19 seconds remaining in the first period. Face off outside the Detroit blue line. On the face-off, Keon back to Duff. Duff shot knocked down by Gadsby. A turning pass to Del Vecchio. Bond ran into him. And Brewer. Getting over the line with Keon. A pass back to Brewer, and he just couldn't get set for a drive. Pete Goigan, number 18. A pass hit Keon to Del Vecchio. Takes a long shot. That bounce. Bauer had to stop that one. And Duff. Off the boards, handed it to Gordie Howe. A shot. Artie Fowler stopping that, and now it's a chance for Dick Duff. Duff. Stopped by Gordie Howe. Gets over the line, a pass stopped by Armstrong. Armstrong going over the Detroit line. Takes his shot, check, drop that. Gets it into the corner. Keon goes after it with Armstrong. Armstrong and Keon, but Del Vecchio covering the Leaf player along the board. "23 seconds remaining in the first period. 1-0 for the Detroit Red Wings. Keon with Duff and Armstrong, Braun and Brewer all up inside the blue line. Del Vecchio, Howe, Ullman, Marcel Pronovo, and Bill Gadsby. On the face-off, it comes back to Ullman from Del Vecchio. He goes to the far wing. He's checked. Keon let his shot go, was knocked down by Gadsby. There's a long shot. It's offside at the Detroit blue line. But let Gordie Howe stick into the crowd. And that really started something. Face off outside the blue line. Keon remains out with Duff and Armstrong. Douglas and Horton on the defense. Ullman, Del Vecchio, and Howe. With Marcel Pronovo and Bill Gadsby. A pass to Gordie Howe. Took a shot into the corner. Horton takes Ullman into the board. And there goes the buzzer. Will end the first period with Gordie Howe coming up with the only scoring play in this game so far. And so at the end of the first period, the score, Detroit Red Wings 1, Toronto Maple Leafs no score.
The maddening horde at the Olympia in Detroit is sent into a frenzy as Gordie Howe has scored to give the Red Wings a 1-0 lead at the end of the first period. Wood Cornell is standing by now with the King Clancy.
The assistant general manager of the Leafs, King Clancy.
Hello, Ward. How are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Man, with the score 1-0.
That doesn't bother me a bit, Ward. I think that we'll come out and win this hockey game tonight.
Well, now, what were your sort of impressions of that whole period?
Well, I thought it was a pretty good period. I thought that the first team are red hot. There has to be red hot when Gordie Howe can get a break like he got there tonight, come down the wing and fire that cap from about 60 feet. And it hit Johnny ball on the glove and bounced into the net. This is more or less of a routine shot for Johnny, and the puck bounced into the net. And I don't know. I think perhaps that might that stirred the Detroit club on a little bit. When I say they're red hot, they've iced the puck about 4 or 5 times, and it's gone right on their net. So they're throwing in a lot of luck too.
Actually, I was wondering tonight. I thought that the Red Wings were hitting a little bit harder than they have so far in this series. Did you say that was so or not?
I don't think so, Ward. I don't think that they're trying to out-hit our club. I know that they're trying to out-hit our club. If they start to hit, why, we can come right back. And we've belted a few. Armstrong gave a 2 or 3 really good kicks in there in that period. And Tim Horton, and I want to tell you that this game is not over by any matter of means as yet.
Steve, how tough is it on a club like when the Leafs came out on the ice and had to go dressing room sort of lined by Detroit fans to sort of give the players a needle? Is this tough on them or not? They tell them good fun, but it's the needle.
No, they don't bother about that at all. Well, in fact, they wouldn't know they were there, the players coming in. People say something, but you never hear them as they're going by into the dressing room. Your mind is all on the hockey game, and they're just thinking about the next period.
Well, now, what about the staying over, the 2-day layoff? Whenever you were in Montreal, you came back.
That's right.
Tell me what they were.
We stayed in Dearborn, Michigan, at the Dearborn Inn, a wonderful spot to stay, and it's very quiet, and I know that the players enjoyed it there. This is just what they wanted, a good rest away from everybody and everything, and course, a lot of people looking for tickets, and the players are away, and they can't get in touch with them there, which tends to give them a little more time to themselves.
And so you feel that everything's going to be still all right for the league.
I know the Punch is in there now, really giving them the business, and I know that before this thing is over, this Detroit team will know they're in the playoffs.
Ward Chanel again, and if we can shout over top of the crowd, Jump Worsley, our NHL star, back as our expert. What do you think of that period, John?
I think it was a very good skating period. Detroit had many chances for a comfortable lead, but Beckett made a great save on a rebound on the shot by Barnes. But I think to look for more hard hitting. I think it's an even game. Detroit maybe have a little bit of better of the play, but other than that, I think it's going to be a tight game.
Jumper on a shot like Howes when he's just inside the blue line, and you've had many of them in your hockey career. Does it just come hard? Does it float? Does it get into it? What?
I think that's there. Gordy missed it, and it dropped. It flopped over, and it dropped and hit Johnny on the bottom of their stick glove, and just fell in behind them.
Are those often the toughest ones to stop or not?
Well, they are, because they're more or less a change of pace. They're expecting a drive, and it ends up like a baseball pitcher throwing a change of pace after that.
Johnny, I know you talked about not wanting to let goals in practice, and other goaltenders, and I guess Terry Sawchuk might have been one that you could compare to when you later played with him. In practice, he'd just sit there, and he just didn't want to get hit. I asked Glenn Hall this, too, because I noticed when he played that when the goal was scored, he never dug the puck out of the net. He figured if you put it in there, you go and get it. But he would never take it out for the official. Meanwhile, if it went by you, the first thing you did was fire it to the other end of the rink.
As much as I possibly could. That's right, too. I always felt what you do in the practice, you're going to do in the game. And I want to make it tough for the players, too, my players, that it isn't easy to score in a goaltender, and I think that helps them, too, as well. But that's the way I was taught. Like everything else, like I remember my father saying, if you want to get anywhere in this world, you got to work hard for something that you like and that you believe in, and it was good advice.
11 years in the minors teaches you have to work too, doesn't it?
Yeah, I rode the buses. That's right. That's enough. When riding the buses, and oh boy, game time. Sometimes we arrive at 7:30, play a game pretty tired, and I had a lot of experience down there, Joe. I'll tell you.
The Cleveland Barons.
The Cleveland
I think you're
Barons.
still a part of the Hall of Fame down there, are you not?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I got in the Hall of Fame down there. Yeah, that's right.
You were there for 11 years. Why not? The Leafs are trailing 1-0 in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final because it's April 16th, 1963. And this is Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classic on Leafs TV. It is 1-0 Detroit after a period at the Olympia in Game 4. John Bauer is our guest, and one of the key acquisitions, along with you at this point in time, a little earlier, is a Norris Trophy winner who comes over from the Detroit Red Wings and never plays defense. He plays the point on the power play a little bit, but Red Kelly becomes a center iceman. When he came over, did you think that Punch had gone goofy or something, sticking him up in the forward line? And as a goaltender, didn't you want him back
Well,
there?
definitely. A guy like Red Kelly, being all the experience he has in that, and but he was a utility guy. Apparently, they found out that Kelly could play center too as well, and he was one of the greatest passers there was that I've ever seen, and not just one way, one direction, but the other direction too as well. And he put it right on the guy's stick, and he was great that way.
John, did he ever have to fill in and play defense, maybe in a role where one of the guys, either Stanley or Horton or Bond or Brewer, got hurt?
Yeah, I think, yeah, he played in the, yeah, Punch would put him in there in case somebody got hurt or something like that. You rely on Kelly a lot, and I was, I was happy to see him there with the experience he had, too.
And playing center, he was obviously very good defensively in his own zone.
In his own zone, and good in face-offs, too. I mean, Kelly didn't lose too many face-offs the odd time, although most of the defensemen took our face-offs in the own end, like, but Kelly was involved in a few of them.
So the Leafs are trailing 1-0. We're into the second period action coming up because this is Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classic on Leafs TV.
Things are coming out on the ice now for the second period, with Detroit leading by a score of 1-0. The Leafs are the first to make their appearance and will defend the area to my right, wearing their white uniforms, and Detroit, will be coming out in just a moment, will defend the area to my left. Referee Vern Buffy, number 4, he's out in the ice now, along with his linesman, Matt Tadlick, number 5, and Ron Witt, number 11. Only scoring play of the game so far has been off the stick of Gordie Howe, a long shot that eluded Johnny Bauer and was too hot to handle. He was given passes from the Vecchio and Patrick McDonald, and the time of the goal was 2:54. 2 penalties in the first period. Bob was for hooking at 8:08, and Gadsby for holding at 9:17. Detroit are leading 1-0, and the Leafs outshot Detroit in the first period, 13-12. All set to start the second period now. Howman up there with Floyd Smith and Vic Safiuk. Keon with Duffin Armstrong. Martin and Stanley on the defense. Bill Gadsby and Marcel Toneville for Detroit. All set to go, and the fans are sitting down again now, and all set to go for the second period. And from the face-off, Stanley moves it over to Horton, who gets over the red line and shoots it in. Ends up in the corner, gets up. Stopped by Floyd Smith, Marcel Toneville. To Floyd Smith, who was knocked down by Stanley. Clearing pass to the blue line, goes out over the line, and Horton gives it to Stanley. Stanley shoots it right back in again. Safiuk stopping it. Gadsby stopping it for Safiuk. Safiuk watched by Armstrong to Bill Gadsby. Back to Safiuk. It hits Keon, and Horton drops it over on the right wing. Armstrong couldn't get it over the line. Vic Safiuk. Struck by Keon, who goes back into his own zone for it. Keon. Up the center. Marcel Toneville to Floyd Smith. Gets it over the line. Pass it out in front, and Stanley just flicks it to center right. Doug Barkley moves up with a backhand that bounces wide of Bauer. And Horton goes in behind the net and comes out with it. Tim Horton. Up the center. A foot shot for Duff that goes wide. Terry Safiuk out of the net. Cleared into the corner. Keon moved up. Pass it right in front. That's a third! Armstrong from Keon, and it's all tied up. 1-1. George Armstrong was left uncovered. Keon put it right on his stick, and he fired it right into the net. Armstrong from Keon. And the Leafs are tied at 1-1.
George Armstrong ties the game for the Maple Leafs as Dave Keon gets a bit of a break when Terry Safiuk has trouble handling the puck. I want to talk first off a little bit about equipment. Sticks in those days, John. I mean, I remember seeing your stick. It was a piece of 2x4.
Well, it was heavy. There's no doubt about that. Mine was about I would say a 34-inch stick, and it was heavy for me to use that poke check. But actually, I got used to that after, but they didn't know I used to shave that stick down a lot.
Oh, did you?
Down to about 24, yeah.
24 rounds? Well, George Armstrong scores, and I know you have a very unique relationship with the Chief because you were subjected to having to live with him for 10 years on the road.
I think I deserve a medal with that guy, Joe. I'm telling you. He's a great guy, though, a great captain and everything else. But, you know, he meant a lot to the club, and he's one of the best captains that I ever played with, really.
Now, I want you to tell the story about training camp in Peterborough, and the Chief kind of got you pretty good because of your wife's car.
Yes, it was. My wife wanted her little convertible painted, so I thought, well, I'll take it to Peterborough, and I know Punch knew Mr. McGee at that time, and I owned the dealership, and I told Punch, look, I want a cheap job now. I don't want to pay too much money because I'm not getting too much money from you anyway. So he said, just put the keys in a mailbox. So I said, okay, I'll do that. So I put it in. Now, about a week later, we're having a golf tournament, and we're on the golf course. And if you don't golf, Joe, I had a French goaltender. He had to caddy for you. Eh? So he was caddying for me. He couldn't speak English too much. And Punch was behind us with Clancy and the rest of the crew. So we got up to the, I think it was the 18th tee where the clubhouse was, and this kid called Punch, and the kid came back and told me, he says, Johnny, your car is all ready. And I said, already? Yeah. I said, where is it? He said, by the clubhouse. And I said, I looked, Joe, that car was the color of a rainbow. I said, all blue, green colors. I was so scared, you know. I said, what am I going to do? Everybody laughed, like, you know, and I said, that can't be my car. So I went up to it after. I didn't even want to drive it. I let George Armstrong drive it back downtown to the hotel. And George is going down the main drag like a comical guy he is. And he's yelling, "Bauer's in here, Bauer's!" And I'm way down. This is his car, more or less. But it turned out pretty good. I mean, I got...
Do you think George had anything to do with it?
I think he had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he sure did.
Don't doubt it. Pretty good hockey player, too, John.
Oh, yeah, he's a good hockey. Great captain, a great leader, too, as well. And, yeah, his record speaks for himself.
And so does the car.
Yeah.
The Maple Leafs have tied the game. Let's go back now to Bill Gillis.
1 minute and 17 seconds. George Armstrong from Dave Keon. Gaffney and Popek mixing it up, and Popek gets the gate right off the bat. High stick Gadsby. So the Leafs will be a man short. Is the time of the high-sticking penalty to Popek. They're tied 1-1. Eddie Joyelle, number 21, has moved out now with Packer McDonald and Gordie Howe, Alex Vecchio, and Val Fontaine. Ron Stewart. Bob Nevin will try to kill off the penalty with Brewer and Bob Bond. The Red Wings go back for it. Val Fontaine, number 19. A pass for Packer McDonald, having difficulties, but gets it to Fontaine and brings it up to center. Up over the Leaf line and went past Gordie Howe's skate and back out to center. Packer McDonald, Alex Vecchio. To Packer McDonald. His pass stopped by Nevin, gets it again, rolls it over the line, and Brewer races after it into the corner. He lifts a high one, it's going, and it's into the crowd. Matter of fact, unusual thing happened. Just watching the penalty box, and a fan who was sitting down from Popek rushed up and deflected the puck with his thumb past Popek's head. Otherwise, it may have hit him. But the fan just rushed up and deflected the puck with his thumb. Here's Gordie Howe. A pass right in front, a shot, and Fowler stops that off Eddie Joyelle. Bob Nevin can't get it out. Joyelle trying to center it in front of the net. Gordie Howe took a whack at it. He's got it again, trying to turn out in front. Here he has it again. Gordie Howe, watched by Stewart. Gordie Howe still has it. Takes his shot, and that's wide. Now Fontaine's drive. It deflects across the goal mouth. And Carl Brewer flicks it, but not out. Here's Alex Vecchio to Joyelle. He takes the shot, lets it go. It's all around the Leafs net. Here's the score. Joyelle, number 21. And Detroit made it 2-1.
All right, you're probably wondering what all the pandemonium is about. This pandemonium is for a show called Kid Zone that you can check out daily on Leaf TV. We have got Amy, who has always got the latest on In the Zone and Hot Stuff. Then there's superfan Sarah. She has always got this crowd pumping. My name is Joe, and I guarantee that everything you need every day is in the zone. For real.
So it's Detroit 2. Toronto Maple Leafs 1, and we're all set now to start play again in the second period. Leafs are back at full strength as a result of that goal. Popek has gone to the bench. And it's Kelly with Lissenberger and Mahovlich, Horton and Stanley, Del Vecchio, Packer McDonald, and Gordie Howe. Bill Gadsby with Pete Gorgon. Bauer to Tim Horton. Horton gives it to Mahovlich. Mahovlich coming up the center. A long shot. Broke his stick. Lissenberger rolled it right in front, and Kelly missed the drive. Packer Packer McDonald. Goes back, lost it to Mahavlich. Here's a shot, and that hit Packer McDonald. Played around in the boards to Gordie Howe. He cleared it right on Mahavlich's stick. He gives it back to Stanley. Stanley to Horton. Horton's long shot off the boards. Mahavlich let one go that was wide. Ritzenberger races into the right wing, and Packer McDonald, a long pass for Del Vecchio, and Powers stops it. Pass to Horton. Flip pass over for Mahavlich. Too far. Ritzenberger gets a hold of it. Flips it over the line. Moves in with a shot. Sawchuk stopped that. Pete Goyden knocks it down. A pass over to Packer McDonald. He puts it up for Del Vecchio. Trying to be outside. And the faceoff comes back into the Detroit zone. Coming up to the 4-minute mark in this second period, Detroit leading 2-1. They played 4 minutes less 12 seconds. Now the second period, Detroit are leading 2-1. Top on over here for Brewer. Brewer takes a shot that goes into the corner. Doug Brackley back for it. Kopig watching him, fended it out in front. There was nobody there. Nevin hooked it away from Alex Faulkner. Kopig fights for it with Marcel Pronovo. Pronovo stopped by Shack. Shack was bumped by Bruce McGregor. Nevin bumped into Doug Brackley, and Sawchuk steers it back into the same corner. Play is called, and there's going to be a penalty here to Doug Barkley of Detroit, number 5, for holding. Barkley will get a penalty. And that'll give the Leafs the odd man advantage, 6 men to 5. They trail in the game 2-1. Four minutes and 12 seconds of the second period. Barkley for holding. Keon, Duff Armstrong, Douglas, and Kelly. It's carried out and down the ice by Detroit. Douglas goes back for it. Douglas up the center. Over to Armstrong, and he's checked. Kelly. Pass for Keon. Trying to get in. Marcel Pronovo covers him. Keon centered it in front, and Sawchuk covers up. Face off in the Detroit zone to the right. All set to go. Duff back to Kelly. Kelly took his shot. It's in front. Armstrong took a whack at him. Sawchuk is lying down. He may have hurt himself. Sawchuk knocked down in front of the Detroit goal. And here comes Lefty Wilson, the cleaner, out on the ice. Lefty Wilson is talking to Harry Sawchuk. Says he's all right. He may have had his wind partially knocked out of him when he came out of the goal tree. They were jamming in front. Armstrong's shot was wide of the net. And it was then that Sawchuk had difficulty getting up. Well, he's all right, ready to go again. 2-1 Detroit in the second period. Coming up to the 5-minute mark in 18 seconds. On the faceoff, it comes back to Kelly over to Douglas. He took his shot. Knocked down by Gadsby, and Duff gets the rebound. Tried to pass it in front. Here's Keon with it. Armstrong right in front of the net, and Keon was checked. Cleared down the ice. Douglas back for it. Gets it ahead to Keon. Keon with Duff and Armstrong. Back to Duff. Duff to Keon right in front of the net. Duff shoots it. Oh, he shot it over top of the net. Kelly, a pass to Duff. Got it right back into the Detroit zone again. Belfontaine after it. Watched by Armstrong. Armstrong kicks it to Duff. Right in front to Kelly. A shot. Gadsby knocks it down and holds onto it. This game is coming to you direct from the Detroit Olympia. We're at the 5:38 mark. On the second period, Detroit 2, Maple Leafs 1. Litzenberger, Stewart, Mahavlich, Kelly, and Douglas. On the faceoff, Litzenberger in possession. Back for Kelly. Kelly over to Douglas. Douglas shot one. Knocked down by Gadsby. Mahavlich in front. Oh, Litzenberger wrapped at it, and it failed to find the target. Kelly to Mahavlich to Douglas, who wrapped it into the corner to Litzenberger. Litzenberger is jammed by Marcel Tonabo. Trying to get it loose, and they hold it there for a faceoff. Face-off in the Detroit zone to the right. Leafs playing every man up. At the 5:58 mark of the second period. Martin and Stanley come over the boards now for the Leafs, replacing Kelly and Douglas. Litzenberger clears it back for Horton. Here's a shot, high and wide. He races after it. Ullman beat him to it. Horton whacked it with his glove. It comes out over the line, and Litzenberger brings it right back. A pass from Mahavlich, and it's cleared back down the ice. Doug Barkley is back on the ice. It's right at full strength. Horton ahead for Litzenberger. Litzenberger shoots it in the Detroit zone. It ends up behind the net. Shot tuck to Marcel Tonabo. Pass for Gordie Howe to Bill Gadsby. Gadsby, Doug Barkley, Ullman and Howe. They're over the line. Gadsby to Doug Barkley, and he went by. And Bauer shot it around on the boards for Mahavlich. To Litzenberger, too far. Alan Stanley went after it. And Ullman has it. Here's Howe loose on the right wing, and he just failed to get it to him. Ullman's going in on the left wing. Passing it back for Howe. He's checked by Litzenberger, and Stewart gives Litzenberger a pass with Mahavlich over the line. Mahavlich stopped by Doug Barkley. And Litzenberger was checked, and here goes Howe at center. Over the Leaf line. A pass for Ullman. Ullman stopped. Passing it back for Marcel Tonabo. Here's the shot, and Bauer stopped that. And Popper shoots it down the ice. It's going to the red line, but it didn't go over. It hit the boards and came back. Ullman. Long shot into the Leaf zone, and Horton gets it. Larry Jeffrey checks him. And Popper. A pass came out in front of the net. A shot, and Horton gets it. Ahead for Nevin. Nevin checked by Floyd Smith. Bill Gadsby clears it out to safety. And Nevin passes it back for Stanley. To Popper. To Nevin. They're over the Detroit line. Nevin passing to an open wing. Horton moves up, takes his shot. Floyd Smith stopped it with a stick. Floyd Smith trying to get it out. He handed it to Shack. Shack let a flip shot go, and Bill Gadsby clears of the line, but not out. Bob Bond is there. Here's the shot, and that's knocked down. Floyd Smith clears it down to center, past Jeffrey down the ice. Bauer out of his net. Shooting it into the corner. Ullman takes a shot, and Bauer stopped that. Bob Bond gets the rebound in the corner. A pass to Popper with Shack and Nevin. They're over the line. They're closing in. Nevin takes his shot, and that was stopped by the Detroit defense. Back for Floyd Smith to Larry Jeffrey at center. Up over the Leaf line. The shot is wide. Army Ullman, checked by Shack, who cleared it right to Pete Croydon. Pete Croydon of the Detroit shot hit Bond. Bond gives it to Nevin. Nevin, Pippard, and Shack, one man back. They're going in together. Nevin to Pippard. He left it for Shack. the second period. 2-1 Detroit. With Terry Sarchak making a dazzling save on Eddie Shack. Out now for Detroit, Alex Delvecchio, Parker McDonald, Gordie Howe, Doug Barkley, and Marcel Tonavo. Keon's up and Armstrong with Vaughn and Brewer. Cleared into the lead zone where Carol Brewer has it. Brewer on the left wing at the blue line. Up to center. He gets the puck away. Doug Barkley knocks him down. There's going to be a penalty here to Detroit. Barkley gets his second penalty in a row for Detroit. Face-off will be in the Detroit zone to the right. 9:22 of the second period. Doug Barkley in the penalty box. And the face-off is in the Detroit zone to the right. Detroit 2, Final Maple Leafs 1. Out there now, Marcel Tonavo, Val Fontaine, Bill Jasby, and Bruce McGregor. Keon, Mahavlich, Armstrong, Kelly. Kelly let his shot go. Lost it in his skate. Gets it to Mahavlich. Mahavlich passed it in front to Armstrong, and shot went over top of the net. Bill Jasby trying to clear it out. Bruce McGregor finds an opening and shoots it down the ice. And Douglas back. Long pass for Mahavlich. Over for Armstrong. Armstrong gets it over the line. Val Fontaine back for it for Detroit. Puts it to the blue line and down the ice to center. Kelly turns for the Leafs. A pass to Keon. Keon up at center, leading a four-man rush. Back to Mahavlich. Mahavlich's pass for Armstrong goes into the corner. Back to Douglas. Douglas takes his shot and hit Armstrong on the glove. Armstrong back for Kelly. Kelly was checked by Bruce McGregor. It goes all over the line and Kelly turns. Al Fontaine watches him. Kelly goes up over the Detroit line. He's knocked down by Marcel Tonavo. Bruce McGregor clears it but not out. Frank Mahavlich getting set. He's getting right in with a shot, and Bill Jasby fell in front of it and shot down the ice. Kelly back for it. Long pass for Litzenberger. Up for Mahavlich. Turns in his own zone. Pass ahead to Litzenberger. Up over the line. Takes his shot. Sarchuk stopped that. Got it to Val Fontaine. Fontaine shoots it down the ice. Leafs go back for it. Detroit leading 2-1. Red Kelly. Pass up for Litzenberger. It's deflected back in, and Douglas has it. Up to Litzenberger. Up over the line. He falls. Harris slapped it, and Bill Jasby. Long pass for Doug Barkley. He's back on the ice. A pass for Ullman. It goes into the Leafs zone. Ullman passing it for Doug Barkley, and Litzenberger gets it. Stopped by Marcel Tonavo. Shot it right back in again. Douglas, a pass to Duff. Ahead to Harris. Harris goes up over the Detroit line. Pass to Duff. Duff right in front, and Litzenberger missed it. Stasiak. Pass hit Harris's skate. Duff shot it into the corner. Sarchuk out of his net to Gadsby. Got it down the ice. Over the red line. It touched Bauer, so Stanley has to come up with it. The pass for Duff. He flicked it and hit Floyd Smith in the face. And he's cut. Over the line for Stasiak. His shot. Bauer caught that. Floyd Smith goes off for repairs as Stanley turns in his own zone. 2-1 for Detroit in the second period. As Horton tries to get away in the right wing. He's checked. Gadsby. A pass to Normie Ullman. Gordie Howe's loose. It's over to Howe. His shot hit a leg. Stasiak went after it. Pass it back to Gadsby. A shot. Bauer stopped that. Cleared out to the wing. Howe Nevin. Nevin up the center. Gets over the line, and Howe took it away from him. Over for Stasiuk and Del Vecchio. Back to Stasiuk and Del Vecchio. A shot. Bauer caught it, and there's no further play. This game is coming to you direct from the Detroit Olympia.
For marine products, make SO your first port of call.
We have played 12 minutes and 12 seconds of the second period. Detroit 2, Maple Leafs 1. Face-off, Hooper, a pass to Nevin. Upward shot on his left. Nevin over the line, trying to cut in, still has it. Rolling in front. It comes back for Bob Vaughn. He takes his shot, Sawchuk got it. Face-off in the Detroit zone to the left of Sawchuk. Strike 2. Maple Leafs 1. To go in the Detroit zone. Hooper lost the draw. Alex Faulkner, number 12. Pass for Marcel Pronovo, bumped into Nevin. They jam against the board. It comes out to Andre Pronovo, flicks it out to center right. Kyle Brewer. Stopped, Alex Faulkner fell. And Eddie Shack comes over near the Detroit line. A pass for Nevin. Nevin was checked. Ran into Andre Pronovo. Here's right in front to Nevin. Nevin shot it wide. Hooper missed the rebound and shot it over top of the glass. Nevin must have missed the net by 5 feet. They have played 13 minutes, 56 seconds. In the second period, Detroit 2, Leafs 1. Andre Pronovo, number 15. Trying to bring the puck out. Popert watches him. Brewer stops it at center. A foot pass to Popert. Over the line. Brewer. A holding penalty. 14 minutes and 8 seconds gone by in the second period. Howell, Del Vecchio, Packer McDonald, Fontaine, and Joyelle. Keon Armstrong, Horton, and Stanley. Goes back to Fontaine. Fontaine, a back pass to Packer McDonald. To Alex Del Vecchio, ahead to Gordie Howe. Past Stanley, Howe took a shot, he was not flying. Up was clear to hit Keon, here's Joyelle, a pass for Fontaine, he passed it out in front of the net, Keon has it. Couldn't get out. Joyelle, pass off the board, Gordie Howe let it go, hit Stanley. Gordie Howe from behind the net, still has it. Passed it in front, Stanley to Horton, and Horton puts it down the ice. Alex Del Vecchio, number 10, back for it. In front of his own net, over to Packer McDonald at the blue line. Up he comes with Joyelle and Howe. Over the line for Packer McDonald, right in front of Joyelle. And his shot was stopped by Bauer. And Joyelle was right in. Four minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the second period. Detroit 2, Leafs 1. Howe, Joyelle, Packer McDonald, Alex Del Vecchio, and Val Fontaine, Douglas, Horton, Beaufort, and Nevin. All set for the face-off in Leaf territory. Horton slapped at it, but not out. Fontaine Shot it back into the corner. Horton was checked. Gordie Howe tried to center it in front, and it goes to Popper. Popper just finds an opening and shoots it down the ice. Shotshot leaving it for Fontaine. Fontaine. A foot pass to Gordie Howe at his own blue line. Howe turns around. Leading a four-man rush over the line. Del Vecchio stopped, jammed in on the boards, hit by Popper. Howe watched by Horton. Horton goes after it, flips it down the ice. Back for it, Joe Gadsby. Gadsby. A turning pass to Gordie Howe. Over to Joyelle. Joyelle up the center, over the line. Trying to go through. He was too well covered. Bauer came out of his net. Joyelle was knocked down. Here's right front to Del Vecchio. He shot, and Bauer stopped that. Horton, watched by Packer McDonald. Cleared it off the boards to center ice. Clearing pass to Joyelle. Over the line outside. 3 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the second period. Detroit 2, Leafs 1. Back to Bob Bond, over to Carl Brewer. Back to Bond again. Ahead for Kelly. Hit his skate and he lost it to Fitzpatrick. He gives it to Floyd Smith. Puts it over the line. Bob Bond, a foot pass from Mahavlich. Bauer had to give it to him. Mahavlich coming out. A foot pass, too fast for Listenberger. Mahavlich gets it again and couldn't get away. Floyd Smith then a pass for Ullman. Ullman up over the Leaf line. He's bumped. Here's Fitzpatrick taking his shot. Bauer stops that and goes to the board. Listenberger trying to get it out along the board. Gives it to Kelly. Kelly out for Mahavlich. One man back. Mahavlich over the line. Takes the shot. Pass it. And Sawchuk and Gadsby combined to cover him. Comes back out over the blue line. Bob Bond off the board. Stasiak up over the Leaf line. Takes his shot and Bauer stops that. Pass ahead to Mahavlich. Up for Kelly too far. Stopped by Gadsby. He in turn lost it to Mahavlich. Gives it to Kelly. Kelly and Listenberger going in together. Kelly waits. Takes his shot. Scores! Red Kelly, let it go. It's all tied up. 2-all. Red Kelly's screen shot taps the corner, and it's a 2-all tie. Now, whether that puck touched Listenberger or cut in front of the net or not, I can't say, and I'll wait for the official score. This route happened. He came in flat. But it looks like Kelly's shot tapped the right side of the net all along. Detroit 2, Toronto Maple Leafs 2. Referee Frank Bucky went over to the official scorer to get it straight. Now he's set for the face-off at center. Kelly. Mahavlich and Bond. It's Gordie Howe over the Leaf line. He's going to swing it to Duff. And Howe and Duff mix it up. And there'll be penalties there. .41 was the official time of Kelly's goal for Mahavlich and Bond. The 2-all tie, and now the teams are even now at 5 aside with Howe and Duff. A pair of 9s in the penalty box. .01. of this second period. Penalties to Howe and Duck, and the score is tied 2-all. A 2-2 tie. Armstrong kicks it back to Stanley. Over to Horton. Long shot into the Detroit zone. Keon races in after it. Passes it back to Horton. Horton's shot was knocked down by Doug Barkley, who gives it to Alex Del Vecchio. Up the center. Over the line. Gets away from Stanley. Takes his shot and Powers stops that, and Del Vecchio went flying into the board. Away goes Keon and Armstrong to center. Up over the Detroit line. Armstrong shoots it, and a tie into the crowd. Face-off will be in the Detroit zone at the rim of the circle, and the face-off will be made by Matt Chadwick, the linesman. 1 minute and 26 seconds remaining to play in this second period, a 2-all tie. Kelly, Mahamlick, Vaughn, and Brewer. Alman, Gadsby, Marcel Pronovo, and Andre Pronovo. On the face-off, Brewer knocked it down, didn't see it. Alman hit by Brewer. Vaughn hit by Andre Pronovo. Has it in the corner. A flick pass to Kelly. Kelly a long pass for Mahamlick. Up the center. Over the Detroit line. Mahamlick into the corner. Stop. Pass it right by the net. Vaughn shoots it. Oh, and he rifled it high over top of the net. That's for a minute to go in the second period. Score is tied 2-2. Face off in the Detroit zone. Kelly getting in front, knocked it into the corner. Marcel Pono, Gadsby was knocked down. Pass over to Andre Pronovo. Up the center. Over the leaf line. On cleared him out to the board. Kelly a pass to Mahamlick. Back to Kelly. Coming over the Detroit line. Kelly moving in. Tried to pass it in front. Mahamlick clears it back to Bob Vaughn, and he couldn't get a shot. Back up the ice for Andre Pronovo. Clear them up over the leaf line. Pass back to Ullman. A shot. Power caught it and held on to it. "20 seconds left in the second period, a 2-all tie. In the lead zone to the left. Keon with Armstrong, Horton, and Stanley. Del Vecchio, Patrick McDonald, Doug Barkley, and Bill Gadsby. On the face-off, it ends up behind the Leafs net. Horton goes after it. He straight around the glass, but not out. Patrick McDonald shot it, and Bauer stopped that with his stick. Keon. A pass to Horton. Back up to Keon at center. He takes a foot shot that Patrick stopped. He can't get it out. He just whacked it at the last second as the buzzer went to end the second period. And it ends in a 2-2 tie. Well, it was 1-0 to start into the first period. And Armstrong from Keon at 1:17, Joyal from Howe at 2:38, and Kelly from Mahamlick and Vaughn at 17:41. And so, at the end of the second period, the score, the Detroit Red Wings 2, the Toronto Maple Leafs 2.
A 2-2 tie after 2 at the Olympia in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final 1963. Gordie Howe opened the scoring for the Red Wings. George Armstrong tied it before Eddie Joyal gave the Wings the lead back. But a goal by Red Kelly from Frank Mahamlick has tied it at 2. And let's go to the highlights.
That's to the Detroit line. Shot it in. Sawchuck caught it. Steered it into the corner. Kelly keeps it in with a shot to the opposite wing. And Parker McDonald clears it out to Alex Vecchio. To Gordie Howe. There's a shot. He scores! Tim Horton. Up the center. A foot shot for Duff that goes wide. Terry Sawchuck out of the net. Steered into the corner. Keon moved up. Pass it right in front. That's a score! Armstrong from Keon, and it's all tied up. 1-1. Gordie Howe, watched by Stewart. Gordie Howe still has it. Takes his shot, and that's wide. Now Fontaine's drive. It deflects across the goal mouth. And Carl Brewer flicks it, but not out. Here's Alex Vecchio to Gordie Howe. He takes the shot, lets it go. It's all around the least net. Ready for the score. Gordie Howe, number 21. Pass ahead to Mahavlich. Up for Kelly too far. Shot by Gadsby. He in turn lost it to Mahavlich. Gives it to Kelly. Kelly and Litzenberger going in together. Kelly waits, takes the shot, scores! That's Kelly, let it go. It's all tied up. 2-all.
A 2-2 tie, and with more on the first two periods, let's go to Frank Selke, who is standing by with Howie Meeker and Milt Schmidt.
Fellas, I think this is probably the best game of the series so far, and I'd like your comments on the way the play has gone in the first two periods. Howie?
Thanks very much, Frank. Well, the first period, I thought the score ended indicating the play 1-0 for Detroit. Certainly, Sawchuck only had one big save to make, and that was on a rebound off a shot by Bond. He made a fabulous save off Armstrong. At the other end of the rink, kind of thinks that perhaps Howe shouldn't have had his goal, but nevertheless, Bauer came through with three good saves after that to make up for it. How about you taking the second period?
Second period was very, very hard fun. First of all, Howie, I think it should be mentioned that it's very, very warm in this rink here tonight. And I'm sure that you can appreciate and I can appreciate just what they're going through down there. And they're inspiring, believe me. So it was a very hard-fought period, I thought. The second was very, very close, and it impressed me mostly. That was the defensive play by Joe Gadsby. I think that he probably stopped more shots than Sawchuck did in that second period. He has been a powerhouse out there. And along with Horton. Horton has been playing very well on the penalty defense. It's going to be anybody's ball game from here on in, and the third phase will be very, very interesting. Let me ask you, Captain, a question now. There was a piece in the paper today in which Sid Abel said that if Terry Sawchuck came up with a big game for him, that he thought maybe they could go on and win this series. Do you feel that Terry has not played as well as he could have in the game so far?
I'm going to ask you both now. I think that Terry hasn't been as sharp in the playoffs up to the present time, but there are indications occasionally when he has shown his old form, particularly on the save that you made on Armstrong. I have never seen Terry move as fast. However, I can understand Sid speaking because Terry has always been a real good hot money man, and I think when the chips are down, he'll come through for him.
This goal-keeping situation, Frank, I always like to answer this question like this. We have the six best men in the world playing goal, and any goalkeeper in this National Hockey League is capable of winning a game by himself. You've seen nights where Jacques Plante has done it, the Dumper does it night after night in Montreal, doesn't he? You bet they do. And I did think, though, that Terry was a little bit lucky in a couple of shots. Armstrong put one over the net, and then Eddie Jack come in and picked up a drop pass by Duff, and it went through Terry and hit the post and stayed out, although he did play very well.
Well, those things happen when you're playing well, though. The puck seems to bounce off the post.
What has also impressed me was on Howe's first goal. I can well imagine how Johnny must have felt on it, but it was one of those things, and it looked as though the puck dropped on it, because it was flipping in the air. But it was very noticeable that all his teammates came up to him, and they patted him on the pass, said, "Come on, Johnny boy, we're going to get that one back for you." And they got it back, and right now it's a tie ball game. It's very interesting to see the morale, the spirit on the hockey club like that, and it goes a long way.
Let me ask you this, because you mentioned something before about having been through all of this before, the blood, sweat, and tears and the heat. Howie, you played on the Leafs great teams when they won 3 Stanley Cup winners, and Milt, you played on many great Boston teams. One thing that has surprised me so far in this series is nobody has as yet said that Toronto Maple Leafs are one of the great hockey clubs of all time, and nobody's had too much to say about the Red Wings being a great team. Let's have some comment on that.
I don't think you can class them as a great hockey club at the present time. What have they done? They've won one Stanley Cup and finished in first place. You can't compare them to the Montreal Canadiens who dominated the league for how many years? The Newfoundland and not enough to play. No, I think they have to prove themselves. I think this club is finally matured. You got Colford and Vaughn and Keon, and this Keon's a fabulous hockey player. Tell me, Milt, has he played like this all year long? Always. As a matter of fact, Punch doesn't even work him out in practice most of the time. He just lets him rest because he gives every second he's on that ice. Of course, he's not too big, and he hasn't got any weight to take off. He doesn't have any weight problems. But Punch does rest him an awful lot, which rightfully so, because the way he plays out there, and what a beautiful skater he is. See, no weapons behind it whatsoever. And he reminds me a lot of Oliver from Boston, so they both skate a lot alike. However, getting back to your question, Frank, I don't know whether this is big class is a great hockey club. But let me say this, the Toronto club is big, they're strong, and they're a real good second hockey club, whereas the Detroit club are mainly a real good skating hockey club, and I think that's just a big difference right there.
You're watching Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classic on Leaf TV. The Leafs 2, the Red Wings 2. After the second period at the Olympia, Johnny, that was a busy second period for you. You made great saves on Eddie Joyal and Alex Delvecchio, but it seemed to be the Leafs playing a little rope-a-dope, if you will, waiting for the opportunity to maybe strike, but you were a busy man.
I was in that period, yeah. They left me alone a little bit, but of course I can't rely on them all the time, and I had a job to do, and things worked out for me good. It was great because I played my angles. There wasn't too many rebounds going on. I was trying to catch them as long as I possibly could, so they wouldn't get another chance to score on me. I was doing anything that came into my mind, Joe.
John, the signature move that you have is that poke check. And for someone not wearing a mask, to dive out at somebody's skates with that stick out took a lot more nerve than I know I have. Where did that come from? Did anyone teach it to you? Was it something that you would... because after that, a lot of people, Eddie Jackman was very good at it later on, and they obviously copied you.
Well, actually, when I was with New York Rangers in 1953, there was a goaltender by the name of Charlie Rayner, and he retired, and he's a big guy, and he used to watch me in practice all the time, and I couldn't handle a puck with a hoot then at that time, and guys used to come in close in, and I couldn't use my stick. Nobody really taught me. I had to learn things myself. So he said, I'm going to show you what the poke check is. I didn't know what he was talking about, you know. And he lined up 5 pucks in front of the net for me and made me dive for it and get up real quick and keep going like that. And it was hard work, 5 minutes. And I kept on doing it. And first thing you know, I thought, hey, this is very effective because a lot of goaltenders in the National League don't even know how to do it. And there's times they're so close in that you can use that stick to poke check the puck off them. And some do try it. I noticed a few goaltenders try it, but it's all timing. If they come in close, I got torn by once like that. But anyway, he still talks about it. But anyway, no, it's all timing and good hard work, and but it's very, very effective. I think every goaltender in the National League should work on a drill like that.
All right. Well, the Leafs and the Red Wings are tied 2-2. It's April 16th, 1963. It's Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final, and this is Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classic on Leaf TV.
Matchup to Detroit Olympia, and the Leafs are just coming out now for the third period. Score is tied 2-all. Scoring plays in the game so far. Gordie Howe scored his 7th playoff goal from Del Vecchio and Patrick McDonald at 2:54 of the first period, as the Leafs outshot Detroit 13-12. In the second period, Armstrong got Keon at 1:17 for George Armstrong, his third. Then Eddie Joyal got his first from Gordie Howe at 2:38. And Red Kelly got his first from Havlicek and Braun at 17:41. And the second period ended a 2-all tie. That time goal, Detroit outshot the Leafs in the second period, 17-8. Detroit coming out now on the ice. And they'll defend the area to my right, wearing the dark red uniforms, the Maple Leafs in white to my left. Players just is on the far side. Duff and Howe have 1 second left in their penalty. They picked them up at the 18:01 mark. So just be a formality in the penalty box. go. On the face-off, Duff climbs over the boards. Gordie Howe went out the gates, and away they go. The puck is out into the lead zone. Stasiak takes his shot wide. Howe is replaced, and Stanley falls. Martin into the corner. Got it around to the boards. Armstrong. He poked it out to center ice. Back Barkley and Omi Ullman. Ullman moves up for the pass to Stasiak. He's checked, and Keon goes down the ice for the lead. Up over the Detroit line. Taken out by Marcel Pronovo. Duff centered it in front. It was wrapped back into the corner. Omi Ullman hit by Duff. Duff goes after Ullman. Floyd Smith throws it to the blue line, and Stasiak caught by Armstrong. Pass for Keon over the Detroit line. Keon couldn't make a play, and it goes back to Stanley, who shoots it right into the Detroit zone again and ends up behind the net. Marcel Pronovo being watched by Keon. That's the big Stasiak, number 11, off the boards to Floyd Smith. He's checked. Doug Barkley hits up. Marcel Pronovo, a pass to Stasiak. Watched by Armstrong. Carrying pass on the wing. Fulford on the ice. Horton moves up. Ullman clears it into the lead zone, and Stanley just scoops it behind the net over to Duff in the corner. Duff failed to get it out. Floyd Smith has shot it. Bauer stopped that, and Armstrong a clearing pass to Fulford. Points up. Stopped by Floyd Smith. Up over the lead line. Horton goes after it. Along the board. Fulford. Straight up at center. Over the Detroit line. Gadsby takes them out to the side, jams them in on the boards, and Floyd Smith gets the relay. His pass hit Ullman, but Ullman comes up with it. Ullman flips the backhand. It goes to Bauer. And Eddie Shaggs back for it. Bruce McGregor checks him. Bruce McGregor is then bumped by Vaughn. Goes into the corner. It's straight out in front, and Fulford shot. And Bauer stopped that. Bob Nevin with Fulford and Shack. The three of them going down together. They're over the line. Back to Fulford, over to Shack, and it didn't reach him. Alex Faulkner over the leaf line. Falls. Fulford ran into McGregor, and they hold it there for a face-off. It was underneath Alex Faulkner, so the face-off comes outside the blue line. Score is tied 2-2. 2-all tie. Wait 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the third period. Kelly with Lissenberger and Mahavlik. Vaughn and Jewett. Joe Vecchio, Packer McDonald, Gordie Howe, Pete Jorgen, and Drew Gadsby. On the face-off, comes back to Gadsby. Gadsby shoots it into the elite zone. Bauer to Brewer. Brewer to Vaughn. Puts it up for Lissenberger, too far. Pete Jorgen off the board. Vaughn moves up. Put it right to Jorgen again, number 18. Pete Jorgen the center. Takes a long shot into the elite zone, and Frank Mahavlik gets the rebound. Right in front of his own net. He's checked by Packer McDonald. Packer McDonald watched by Kelly. He fails to get it out. He falls. And Brewer up with Mahavlik. A long shot. Goes in behind the net. Mahavlik got it around on the boards, and Vaughn didn't move up. Vaughn gets it over to Brewer. Brewer puts the long one. Hits the glass. Winds up near Sarchuk. Pete Jorgen. A pass down the ice past Lissenberger. It's going to be on the net. Vaughn handled it better, so Vecchio. He takes the shot, and he's got it wide. And the rebound went all the way to center right. Joe Gadsby passing it off the board. Packer McDonald knocking it in. Bauer stopping it again to Brewer. Brewer being watched by Del Vecchio. Pass to Vaughn. He was stopped by Packer McDonald. Eddie Lissenberger then has it. Over for Mahavlik. Mahavlik watched by Gordie Howe. Gets it over to Vaughn. Vaughn to Stanley. Here's a screenshot of Spot Chuck. Grabbed that one and held onto it. On the face-off, Duff one after the loose puck. It's in the corners, handed to him. He tried to pass it out in front. Keon has it. Keon, a flip pass over to Stanley. Stanley's shot was knocked down by Doug Barkley. It's played out for Larry Jeffrey, and Horton has it. Off the board for Keon. Over for Duff. Duff over the line. Too well covered by Doug Barkley, who plays it out to Larry Jeffrey. Up to the leaf line with Ullman. And Keon tried to get it out. Larry Jeffrey took a shot, and that hit Keon. And he covers up in the circle. Keon fell in front of it. We played 5 minutes and 12 seconds of the third period, a 2-all tie. On the face-off, off the board, Armstrong bringing it out with Keon and Duff. Keon takes the pass, up over the Detroit line. Back to Armstrong, he shot it wide. Stanley moves up with a shot. That's knocked down by Doug Barkley to Larry Jeffrey too far. Horton back for it. Horton puts it out over the line and knocks back. He has it himself. Long pass for Armstrong. Over the Detroit line with a shot that's wide. Marcel Pronovo backboard into the corner. Floyd Smith being watched by Duff. Smith. A back pass to Marcel Pronovo. Over to Doug Barkley. His pass out at center ice. Floyd Smith kicks it back into his own zone. A pass to Larry Jeffrey. Jeffrey watched by Keon. He's knocked down. Marcel Pronovo watched by Keon. Tries to get it out. Armstrong is dumped. It's along the board. Floyd Smith to Doug Barkley. Bring it out to his own blue line to center. Up to the leaf line. Goes through, but it's outside. At the 6:20 mark of the third period, a 2-all tie. Bruce McGregor, number 16. Pass Alex Faulkner over the line. Bob Bond whacked at it. Here's Faulkner to Andre Pronovo, a shot, and it deflects over to Shack. Shack goes down the left wing, over the line. Here's his shot, and that hit Gadsby's stick and went way up into the crowd. The attendance, 13,971. Face-off in the lead zone. Andre Pronovo passing it back to Pete Gorgon. He shot at Nevin. He's got a break. One man back with Copeland and Shack. Nevin goes in, and he shot it wide out. Gadsby's stick, and Gadsby knocked it into the crowd. Bill Gadsby. Stopping that play at the Detroit line. Deflecting it over the glass with Greeley going in on him. Colford set for the face-off. Goes loose in the stop. Oh, it's right in front of the net. Colford went down and Shack gets a whack at it. That hit the goalpost. Right from the face-off. It's back to Bond. His shot is deflected by Sawchuck into the corner. McGregor's hit. Brewer lets one go. It's Colford trying to center it. And it's knocked by Gadsby over the glass. That one hit the goalpost right dead on. Lane Flares thought it had gone in the net, but it didn't. Sawchuck is still shaking his head on that one. We played 7 minutes and 45 seconds of the third period. Score is tied 2-all. Litzenberger, Kelly, Mahavlich. It's a pass intercepted by Gordie Howe with Patrick McDonald. Up over the leaf line. Horton covers his man against the boards. It goes loose. Gordie Howe is after in the corner. Trying to center it. Litzenberger covers him. Gordie Howe watched by Kelly as well. Alex Delvecchio shot it into the corner, and Litzenberger has it. He's jammed. McDonald trying to get it loose. Horton moves out. Gordie Howe gets it loose. Gordie Howe trying to center it. Horton watches him, jams him in on the board. Goes into the corner. Ike Mahavlich passing to Kelly. Off the boards and down the ice. It's going over the red line. Marcel Pronovo will touch it, and icing is the call. Set to go. Back to Kelly. Kelly hit the referee. The shot. Bauer stops it and gives it to Stanley. Stanley flipping it behind the net. Alex Delvecchio went after it. Delvecchio trying to center it out in front. It comes back to Marcel Pronovo. A shot. And that's deflected wide. Horton can't get it out. Gordie Howe. Back to Marcel Pronovo. Here's in front to Delvecchio. A shot, and Bauer stopped that. Mahavlich cleared it, but not out. It goes along the boards. Alan Stanley knocks it down the ice. And it goes wide. And it'll be called for icing. Now then, the Leafs are claiming the faceoff should be outside the blue line. But the face-off will be in the link zone to the left. Elman with Floyd Smith and Vic Stasiak facing Keon Duff and Armstrong. Goes back to Keon. Keon bringing the puck out. Up to center. Over the line. Going in alone, and he was stopped by Goygan. Then Armstrong tries to center. He does. Brewer getting set. A shot. Oh, that was just off the target. Brewer lets it go, and he shot it high over top of the net. Stasiak clears it out over the line. Armstrong to Keon. Keon over the line again with Armstrong. Keon for Armstrong. Right in for the net. He scores! Keon shot it into the net. And the Leafs played it 2. Big Keon got it loose, then slapped it home. And the Leafs go ahead 3-2. Take the lead for the first time in the game. Big Keon gets his 5th playoff goal. Unofficial. .9:42 is the official time of the goal. Keon unassisted. Now then, the linesman is fixing his skate. At Pavlik over at the blue line. Stanley talking to him. Out of Maple Leafs 3, Detroit Red Wings 2. All set to go for the face-off. It's slapped back to the Detroit defense. It's going over to Gadsby. Gadsby up to Alex Faulkner. He's knocked down. Eddie Shack goes back for it. Shack. Long pass for Pulford. Goes to Gadsby, who gives it to Andre Pronovo. Puts it over the line. Stanley flicks it out to Pulford. Pulford up over the line. Closing in on the left wing. Goes to the corner. Took his shot high off the glass. And it goes by Horton down the ice. Alex Faulkner races after it with Horton. Horton gets to it first. Pass it behind the net for Nevin. It's going over the glass into the car, and it'll be a face-off in the lead zone. They play 10 minutes and 20 seconds of the third period. Leafs 3, Detroit 2. Shack trying to get out of the left wing with Nevin. Up over the line. Shack closing in. Pass it right in front of the net, and it goes all the way out here to Alex Faulkner, number 12. With Bruce McGregor. Up over the Leaf line. He's checked. Stanley let it go. Brewer to Gadsby. Gadsby behind the Detroit net. Clearing past the Faulkner, stopped by Brewer. Brewer to Shack. Shack shoots it into the corner. Bergen back for it. Starting to work his way out. Pass it right to Shack. Shack to Pulford. Pulford going in. He shoots it and top back. Alex Delvecchio now on the ice with Gordie Howe. At his own blue line. Delvecchio pass deflected into the lead zone. And Litzenberger's in there for it. Litzenberger passes it right in front of his own there. Howe hits the post. Here's that Delvecchio shot. And that goes for Litzenberger again, who handed it right to Gordie Howe. And he hit the post. Here's a chance for Packer McDonald for Gordie Howe over the line, and it's offside. Gordie Howe was handed a perfect setup, and he hit the post. Minutes and 27 seconds. 8 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the third period. Face-off is outside the blue line. Leafs 3, Detroit 2. Kelly with Mahavlich and Litzenberger. And from the face-off, Litzenberger lost it to Howe. He's over the line again. Check, gets it in front, and then it hit a skate and went out to the wing, and Brewer just clears it out. Doug Barkley being watched, but gets away from Red Kelly this time. Pass to Packer McDonald, who's hit by Litzenberger, and there's going to be a penalty there to Litzenberger for jumping Packer McDonald. Litzenberger of the Leafs will get a tripping penalty.
A marvelous individual effort by Dave Keon has given the Leafs 3-2 lead here in Game 4 in the third period. John, the old adage, and every general manager, whether it was and coach like Toe Blake or Punch Emlak, strength down the middle. And until the Leafs got Kelly and Keon and Pulford, you couldn't compete really with the likes of people like Beliveau and Richard and people like that with Montreal. But Dave Keon was a marvelous, talented individual.
He certainly was, and Punch always believed in having three good centermen if possible. And he always said, if I can get three good centermen and a good steady defenseman and a goaltender as well, he says, we'll win Stanley Cups. And he was right. I mean, the centermen we had, I mean, they could do anything for us. Back check, forecheck, score goals, and everything.
Dave Keon's skating ability is something that you marvel at. His penalty killing, effortless skating, his ability to shoot the puck on the backhand. He may have been the best in the league.
He was one of the best on the back. Davey had a good backhand shot, you're right. A lot of people didn't know that, but he did have a good backhand shot too as well. And I found that out in practice a few times. I got mad at him because, backhand shots are not too often shot at you. And I'm just pulling up on him, and first thing you know, I don't know what's going to go high or low on him, but he was good there. And there was another fella in the National Hockey League that I forgot his name now, a university coach, Joe, and he had a tremendous backhand shot.
Skating ability, penalty killing, he was a delight to watch.
Very seldom, Davey, lose that puck. He could skate, turn either way, forward or backward, you name it, and a fantastic skate and good balance on the skate.
So he has given the Maple Leafs a 3-2 lead here in Game 4 in the third period. Let's go back now to Bill Hewitt.
Now then, Detroit will have the odd man advantage. 6 men to 5. Trailing 3-2. Howman, Larry Jeffries, Floyd Smith, Gordie Howe, Alex Delvecchio. On the face-off, here's Howe taking his shot and it hit away. Alex Delvecchio lets one go, and Stanley was knocked off his pin. Delvecchio lets another one go. It hits the glass. Here's another shot, and it comes over to Gordie Howe. Here's his shot. That's wide. Over here to Delvecchio, right in front. Goes back to Gordie Howe. Here's the shot. It hits Stanley. Delvecchio again. A pass to Gordie Alvin back to Gordie Howe. Here's the shot right in front of the net. And it deflects over to this wing, and Armstrong brings it out. Over the Detroit line. Takes back at center. Bill has it. Hit the referee in the ankle. Holford is out there now as Gordie Howe goes over the line. Back for Larry Jeffrey. Nevin slapped it down the ice. And it's Batchuk coming out of the net to cover up. Pass off the boards to Jeffrey. From Batchuk. It goes over to Ullman. Ullman shoots it in. Nevin clears it to the blue line, but not out. It's cleared over to the far wing for Howe. Douglas took a swipe at it. Clears it around the boards and out and down the ice. 6 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the third period. 3-2 for the Leafs. A pass at center ice, stopped by Douglas, who shoots it right back in again, and Del Vecchio's back for it. Letzenberger's still in the penalty box. A pass stopped by Pulford. Pulford took a whack at it. Ullman gets it though. It's Normie Ullman, a pass to Larry Jeffrey. Stopped by Nevin. Nevin trying to get in on the right wing. Here's his shot, and he shot it wide as Letzenberger is back on the ice. On pass to Larry Jeffrey. Stopped by Nevin on a relay to Marcel Pronovo. Larry Jeffrey tried to get over the line and checked his man. Doug Barkley. Long pass for Larry Jeffrey, too far. Bob Bond gets back to touch it, and the Detroiter call for icing. 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in regulation time. Leafs 3, Detroit 2. Batchuk stops the shot from the faceoff. It's cleared around to the blue line. Bob Bond shot it back. Alex Faulkner breaks it up. Up comes Alex Faulkner. Up to the Leafs line with Bruce McGregor. Here's the shot, and Bauer caught that and held on to it. Face-off in the Leafs on to the right. Red Wings have Alex Faulkner at center, Andre Pronovo on the left wing, Bruce McGregor on the right, Doug Barkley and Marcel Pronovo. Kelly comes out with Litzenberger and Mahavlik. All set to go. Alex Faulkner got the job of cleared it down the ice, and Marcel Pronovo goes back for it. Clearing it off the boards for Bruce McGregor. It lands up on Brewer's stick, and he just cleared it into the Detroit zone. Doug Barkley, a pass to an open wing. Bob Bond moving up for Litzenberger. Lost it to Andre Pronovo, who gets up over the Leaf line, trying to get his shot, and Carl Brewer gets in ahead of him. Third pass for Kelly. Kelly races after it. Bruce McGregor passes it back. Litzenberger moving up. Shot it into the Detroit zone. Mahavlik goes after it. Batchuk is in there. Cleared into the corner. Bruce McGregor stopped by Kelly. It comes out over the blue line. And up the ice off for Bruce McGregor over the blue line. He tried to pass it through, and Kelly clearing pass. Knocked over the blue line to Mahavlik. He's got a break with Litzenberger. One man back. Mahavlik shoots, and it stops. And the rebound went to Andre Pronovo. Away goes with Gordie Howe and Eddie Joyelle. It goes into the Leaf zone. Bob Bond back for it. Plays it out over the blue line to center. Bill Gadsby to Gordie Howe. James at center. Flip pass to Joyelle with Gordie Howe. It's the Leafs trying to get it out. Played to center ice, Bill Gadsby. Stopped by Nevin. Nevin is dumped. And Pulford gets it. Back to Brewer. Less than 4 minutes remaining in regulation time. Joyelle stopped by Pulford is bumped by Gordie Howe. Puck is cleared by Brewer into the Detroit zone. It's going over the red line. And it'll be called for icing. 3 minutes. 42 seconds remaining to play in regulation time. Leafs 3, Detroit 2. Face-off in the Maple Leaf zone roll out. Detroit with Alex Delvecchio, Hiker McDonald, Gordie Howe, Eddie Joyelle, and Bill Gadsby. Jack Fulford, Nevin, Stanley, and Horton. All ready for the face-off. Jack was trying to catch up with Gordie Howe. Now Gordie Howe backs to the referee. Alex Delvecchio and Eddie Joyelle all in there. Now we're all set to go. Now Sammy doesn't like the way it's going. And they're going to tire each other out talking. All set to go. And from the face-off, Bob Pulford. A flip pass stopped by Delvecchio. Martin goes behind the Leaf goal. He lost it. It's right in front of the net. Hiker McDonald couldn't get his shot. It rolls out over the blue line. Alex Delvecchio checked by Nevin. Pulford races after it. One man back. Pulford takes his shot and he shot it wide. Stanley let it go as Hiker McDonald comes down the ice. With Joyelle. Shot stopped by Horton and he puts it out to center ice. Bill Gadsby. He lost it. Pulford gets it loose. And he's stopped. There's going to be a penalty here to Gadsby. Gadsby of Detroit will get a penalty. 16:52. A holding penalty to Bill Gadsby. So we have 3 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in regulation time. Sawchuk down on one knee over at the Detroit bench. And the action has been hectic. Holding the Gadsby at 16:52. The Leafs have the odd man advantage. They're leading in the hockey game 3-2. This is a third struggle, and it isn't over yet by any stretch of the imagination. Some of the fans are starting to leave, but I guess they can't take these fights. A face-off, and they have it. In Detroit territory, at Pavlik, doing yeoman service, acting as an attendant there, scraping up the ice. It's Pavlik with Litzenberger, Kelly, Brewer, and Douglas. Kelly is down to center ice, so Drosky and Valfontaine. Mahavlik keeps the puck in, got it around on the boards. Litzenberger races after it. Passes back for Douglas. Douglas getting set. There's a shot. It's right in front of the net. Mahavlik took a whack at it. Sawchuk looked behind him. The puck didn't go in the net. Litzenberger trying to center it. Kelly goes against the boards, and they hold it there for a face-off. Close call around the Detroit net. Leads 3, Detroit 2. Two minutes and 48 seconds remaining in regulation time. On the face-off, Podrowski is checked. Litzenberger to Brewer. Brewer hit Mahavlik with it. And it went over the glass, so the face-off will come outside the blue line. Mahavlik, Kelly, and Litzenberger. Brewer and Douglas. Litzenberger back to Douglas. Over to Brewer. Back to Douglas. Douglas over the line for Kelly. Stopped by Odrowski, but not thrown out. Mahavlik shot it into the corner. Doug Barkley turned it around on the boards. It's back to Brewer. Brewer for Mahavlich. He hit the board. Doug Barkley hit Kelly with it. Kelly getting set. He shoots. He scores! Kelly has scored for the Leafs with Rissenberger standing off the goal crease. And it's 4-2. That looks like Kelly with a shot. And that makes it 4-2 for the Leafs. That means they're going to have to scrape off the ice for a moment and give me a chance to review the scoring up to date. Hal from Del Vecchio and Patrick McDonald at 2:54 of the first period. Armstrong from Keon at 1:17 of the second. J.L. from Howe at 2:38. Kelly from Mahavlich and Vaughn at 17:41 to tie it up 2-all. Then Davey Keon unassisted at 9:42 of the third period to make it 3-2. And now Kelly has scored, or it looked like Kelly when he shot it. Whether Lichtenberger touched it or not, it's hard to say. We'll wait for it officially on those close-in plays around the net. And it's now 4-2 for the Leafs. Waiting for the official announcement. Bryn Buffy, the referee, is over at the timer's bench. Getting very warm here in the Olympia. Unassisted. Now then, the referee has gone back to the timer's bench. We're at the 17:45 mark of the third period, with the Leafs leading by a score of 4-2. Goal was scored with Gadsby in the penalty box. .45, Kelly unassisted, and for Red Kelly, his second goal in the playoffs. He scored 2, both of them tonight. A lot of the fans are starting to leave, but as we all know, this game is never over until the final buzzer. 4-2 for the Maple Leafs. Keon, Duff, Armstrong, Stanley, and Horton. Alman, Del Vecchio, Howe, Andre Pronovo, Eddie Joyal. On the face-off, it goes back to Armstrong. Armstrong to Horton. Off the boards for Keon. He puts it over the line. Joyal shot it out. Del Vecchio is watched by Armstrong. Alman passed it right in front of his own net. Play is called with a late whistle. And the face-off will be outside the Detroit blue line. 2 minutes. 3 seconds remaining in regulation time. Toronto 4, Detroit 2. Bauer is yelling because there's paper on the ice down at his end. Keon set for the face-off with Ullman. Tries to get it over the line. Del Vecchio passed it into the corner. Joyal didn't see it. Goes back for it. Having difficulty. Armstrong shot it right in front of that. Now Del Vecchio comes up with a number 10. To Joyal at center. Tries to go through. Horton rolled it out again, and Del Vecchio back for it. Alex Del Vecchio clearing past to Gordie Howe. Offside. Alman went over the blue line. One minute and 40 seconds remaining in regulation time. The Leafs 4, Detroit 2. Army Elman looks up at the clock. On the faceoff, Pulford gets it back to Brewer. Brewer to Baugh. Bond moves up for the pass for Pulford. Pulford shot it over the line, and Andre Pronovo and Gordie Howe go back for it. Howe overskated the puck. Then gets it handed back to him off the skate. Clearing pass out of center, nowhere near his man. Brewer moves up And he takes a long shot. The Sawchuck stops. Eddie Joyelle goes behind the net. Stops there. Clearing pass, hits Jack stick. Brewer wraps it back, and it's called offside at the blue line as Fulford was coming out. 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining in regulation time. The Leafs 4 and Detroit 2. Set to go. Fulford back to Jack. Jack over to Bond. Bond's pass for Fulford was deflected back to Joyelle, number 21. Eddie Joyelle trying to get over the line. Stopped by Jack. It comes back to Bill Gadsby. He clears it in. Bauer stops it. By Bond. In the corner. Got it around. Del Vecchio lost it. It's along the boards. Evan can't get it out. Del Vecchio keeps it in the corner. And Kyle Brewer's back there for it. A pass for Jack. Gordie Howe watches him, and Bob Fulford with it. Trying to get it out. It's still in there. Here's Eddie Joyelle, and he was checked by Nevin. Nevin kicks it out for Fulford. Fulford races down the ice. Takes a shot, lets it go. Sawchuck got a piece of it, and it goes into the crowd over the glass. And there's exactly 25 seconds left. 25 seconds remaining in regulation time. Toronto Maple Leafs 4. Red Wings 2. Carl Brewer up in his own zone picking up papers. It's Lichtenberger, Mahavlik, Kelly, Douglas, and Hort. Alex Del Vecchio, Gordie Howe, Eddie Joyelle, Bill Gadsby, and Normie Ullman. Lining up for the face-off. Face-off in the Detroit zone. Gordie Howe was talking to Del Vecchio and Joyelle, so on the face-off, out to Mahavlich, the shot, Sawchuck stopped that, it's right by the net, Kelly trying to get set, took a shot, and that was stopped. It's still in the corner. Detroit trying to get it out, 12 seconds left. In regulation time, Joyelle up the center, over the line, Mahavlich steps into him, the puck bounces out and down the ice, there's 3 seconds left, Del Vecchio goes back for it, he gets set, kissing out to Mahavlich, there's the shot, he shot it in the net, but the game is over. Ended 4-2. Now then, the Leafs players skate down the ice. Sawchuck took exception to Mahavlich letting it go, but he didn't know that the buzzer had gone. Sawchuck still talking to him. I don't think anybody heard the buzzer because that cannon cracker went off. Game is over. It ended 4-2. Now we're down there talking to Sawchuck. Well, now then the two teams are leaving the ice. There's 1-0 Detroit into the first period, 2 off the end of the second. The Leafs scored 2 goals in the third period. Here comes series 4-2. So the final score of tonight's game here is the Detroit Olympia, Toronto Maple Leafs 4, Detroit Red Wings 2.
Leafs win Game 4, 4-2, as Dave Keon gives the Leafs the eventual winning goal on a great individual effort. And then with Bill Gadsby in the penalty box, Fred Kelly scores on the power play to ice this one by a score of 4-2. Red Wing fans are not taking it very well. And let's go to Dave Keon now, who's standing by with Ward Cornett.
Brady, come on in. Some tears and some days, Brady. A great hockey game and maybe the key win of the series for the Maple Leafs. Well, I hope so, Frank. If we can go back to Toronto and play well, I think we can beat them. Brady, you've been scoring a lot of key goals for this hockey club all season. You did it in the series against Montreal. This is the second big one that you've scored in this series. You seem to score an awful lot of them from right in close to the crease. I'd like you and Dump to talk about that a little bit because I think you probably got some on him. How did you get that one tonight? I didn't score it. I'm not sure it was Steve at the end when he scored it. I was trying to bring the puck across in front of the net, and I couldn't get right across, and but the puck got across, and the back checker beat the goalie, and I think Lewis Laban went in the net.
I think it's just great determination that he does score them goals, Frank, on Davy's part. Continuous skating and chasing the puck around. I think this is why he gets a lot of these goals from close in.
I hope I don't get too many on you.
Well, let's hope not anyway, Dave.
Davey, you're going back to Toronto. What do you think of your chances of throwing up the series on Thursday night? Well, I don't make any predictions, so we'll be at that time. I would think this is the toughest game of the series so far. Would you not agree with me? Yes, I think so, because when you have a lead and the other team comes back and ties it up and then wins, it makes it a lot tougher, especially in your home rink. So you're confident that you can go back and make a real game of the Thursday night? Well, we'll still try.
Leafs win 4-2 in Game 4 and have a 3-1 lead. And you're watching Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV. Eddie Shack ends up scoring the Stanley Cup winning goal, tipping in that Kent Douglas shot. And John Bauer, the 1963 team, is the only team to finish first in the National Hockey League of the Cup teams that you were a part of. Was this, in your estimation, the best team the Leafs iced during your tenure?
I realize what you said, that they were first. There's no doubt about that. But there's something in my mind stands up at 67. I still feel that we were, with the experience that we had on the hockey team in 67, I still feel I was the best. But, that's my own opinion.
Now, the winning the Stanley Cup, winning it at home, and winning it in this city is a very special feat.
Oh, what a thrill. I mean, the fans, they just went crazy. I mean, we had our parades, we went to the city hall, we got gifts from everybody. They know where you are here in Toronto. Everybody knows who you are. They just, can have your autograph no matter where you are. I have a license plate on my car, Joe, but it's 1 BOWER. Everybody's blowing their horn at me even now, and they're waving and pointing #1. And we're going to win that Stanley Cup this year. And I got a funny feeling. I'm predicting that this is going to be our year. It has to be.
All right. Johnny, I want to thank you very much for coming and being a very special guest. I know since I got to meet you, not very often can you say that when you meet your idol, it gets better. Sometimes it becomes a disappointment sometime when you realize the person. But the person that you are, and I'm very proud to call you my idol, and I know that watching you play was always a treat, and this was a real big treat to watch you.
Thank you very much, Joe, and I think you're great, too.
I get a $5 from you later. Okay. The Leafs win in Game 4 and go on to win the Stanley Cup. This was April the 16th, 1963. Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final, Leafs and Wings, and this is Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV.
Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV. It's a Canadian game. Brought to you by Molson Canadian.